2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Monday the 28th of November and it's National French Toast Day. And a big happy birthday to Karen Gillan, Martin Clunes, Rob Beckett and John Stewart. The last few weeks have seen a wave of strike action with no sign of anyone putting down their placards anytime soon. Now, as nurses prepare for a 2-day walkout in December, Labour's Shadow Levelling Up Secretary Lisa Nandy says it's no surprise that so many professions have gone on strike when the Tory government just doesn't seem to want to negotiate.
They desperately want to avoid strike action, and they're only here after 106 years because of a government that refused to negotiate with them. The problem in this country is not militant workers, it's a militant government.
Meanwhile, train drivers at 11 operators went on strike on Saturday, once again leading to limited or cancelled services. But the Transport Secretary, although insisting he wants to give all public sector workers a pay rise, says inflation-matching jumps are unaffordable. Mark Harper told the BBC's Laura Kusenberg the money's not there unless rail workers accept reforms.
We have to be able to have that reform package negotiated because it's only that throws up the savings. I do not have a bottomless pit of taxpayers' money to throw at this problem.
TUC General Secretary Francis O'Grady has warned waiting lists are growing in the NHS because people are leaving their roles and nurses are £5,000 worse off than in 2010 in real terms. Not only that, she says, it feels like the government's just not taking nurses seriously.
The tone from government, I have to say, in refusing to meet union leaders to negotiate feels incredibly patronising to women.
The head of the London Fire Brigade promised a major overhaul after an independent report found the organisation is institutionally misogynistic and racist. It exposed a toxic culture, revealing details of pornographic videos being shared as well as sexist bullying, with abuse disguised as banter. Former Chief Crown Prosecutor Nazir Afzal led the investigation and explained some of the accounts he was given.
The black firefighter who found a noose by his locker, another Muslim firefighter who found that bacon had been scraped on his dinner plate before he ate on several occasions. Some of the stories I heard were heartbreaking.
London Fire Brigade Chief Andy Rowe apologised and pledged to hold a case review into the service. He also said firefighters found to have been racist, misogynistic or homophobic now face the sack.
I don't think you could be anything other than horrified reading this report. Heartbroken. You know, this is the voices of 2,000 of our staff. So yeah, just absolutely horrified. Inexcusable behaviours. Very disappointing as a career firefighter to read that.
Street protests against strict COVID lockdown rules have intensified in cities across China, where crowds are openly calling for the end of communist rule. Hundreds of demonstrators and police clashed in Shanghai in the early hours of Monday on the third day of unprecedented public protest. Some of those demonstrating have reportedly been shouting, "We don't want PCR tests, we want freedom." These people were also calling for the president to step down. Police have been using pepper spray to clear the demonstrators. Sky journalist Helen Ann Smith described extraordinary scenes where she is in China and explained how latest unrest started because of the COVID restrictions.
The spark for this set of protests was actually a fire that happened many thousands of miles away. 10 people lost their lives in that house fire, and it's alleged because they weren't able to leave their building because of lockdown measures and the firefighters weren't able to get there quickly enough. And that has sparked this incredibly unusual wave of protest across China.
Work to restore water and power to large areas of Ukraine is continuing after more Russian strikes on infrastructure targets. Several civilians were reportedly killed in southern and eastern areas over the weekend. On Saturday, the Ministry of Defence said its intelligence suggests Russia could be running out of long-range missiles, with Moscow firing unarmed shells into Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky later spoke of attacks on houses in the Dnipropetrovsk region where a number of people were injured. He also commented on the continuing power supply problem, saying it's not yet completely stable.
As of this evening, blackouts continue in most regions and in Kyiv. In total, more than 6 million subscribers were affected. Almost 12 million subscribers were disconnected on Wednesday evening.
Still to come on the Smart 7, Morocco shocked Belgium in the group stages at the World Cup, and Jill Scott's been crowned Queen of the Jungle. Right after this. Welcome back. 3,
It's been a busy weekend of World Cup drama. Apart from England's draw with the US and Wales' shock defeat to Iran, there were plenty more surprises. Germany looked in danger of losing their second game in a row on Sunday, somehow scrambling a draw with Spain with only 9 minutes left on the clock. Earlier, Morocco stunned Belgium and earned only their third ever World Cup win with a 2-0 victory. Portugal are back in action on Monday night, and the man who broke records as the first male to score in 5 World Cups, Cristiano Ronaldo, will be back in the spotlight. He's been chatting about that Piers Morgan interview, which saw him booted out of Man United, but he says it won't affect his World Cup teammates.
The best timing is always my timing. I don't have to think about what others think. I'm sure it won't influence what the national team wants.
Taylor Swift's got an unlikely superfan. He may be one of the biggest names in music right now, but Storms has admitted to being captivated by the singer when he met her for the first time. He told the Jonathan Ross Show that she was so lovely after he finally tracked her down for a selfie backstage at the MTV EMAs.
I get starstruck all the time, like as in, yeah, I got a folder on my phone called Fanboy Mike. Wow. Yeah, and it's got about 48 photos, like from everyone. If I see anyone, then I recognise you. I'm like, oh shit, like, let me get a pic. Like, she was just so lovely. Like, when I left there, like, we all left, and I just looked at her and I was like, how fucking nice is she? Like,
the nation gleefully watched him chow down on camel's penis, sheep's vagina and cow's anus on the telly, but Matt Hancock's last dish on I'm a Celebrity was the bitter taste of defeat. The former health secretary finished third behind real-life Ken Doll-Owen and lioness Jill Scott. Matt took defeat well, I suppose he's used to it by now, and Jill was a gracious and charming winner.
We had over 12 million votes.
Wow.
The majority of them went to you.
Wow.
Is it hard to kind of take in right now?
Yeah, definitely. Look, these guys were absolutely incredible. We were one big team. I don't think there should be one winner. We couldn't have got through it with all of us, and I think we've all been winners of I'm a Celebrity.
Well, there is one winner, and it's you.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day. Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.